Hiya, Keeway Superlight 125 International Community. Steve here again from Scotland, talking about the Keeway Superlight 125. I had an issue, and I know a couple of you have had this issue before, where when you're changing gear, whether it's down or up, sometimes it sticks. It'll stick down. Or if you change up gear, it sticks in the up position. And a few people have said it might be the return spring. That's snapped, fallen off, or it's loose, or it's stretched, or something like that. Now, I had to do mine recently because I had that same issue. My gear lever just kept sticking up, and I had to pull my foot over to downshift. And when it was down, it was stuck down, so I then have to put my foot under it to lift it back up to then change down again. It wasn't great, but this is how I solved my issue with it. Basically, you remove the grub screw here, this wee part here, take that wee bolt out. That will allow this to slide out. Might need to put some WD-40 or some sort of release agent in there just to help it on its way. Get a few tugs and it should come out. Lay that down. And at the front here of the gear lever, you see a wee split pin. Take that split pin out and you've got this wee washer. That washer basically stops the whole thing from sliding off, because this is just basically a shaft of metal. There's a metal rod in here and this slides onto it. That's how it works, and your split pin is the only thing holding it on. So make sure you've got a decent split pin. I'm going to change mine because this one's rubbish. It's a bit rusted up, so I'm going for stainless, a stainless pin. So remove that split pin. Take the washer off, slide the whole thing off. Remember, you've taken off the grub screw up here at the gear end, and that will allow the whole thing to come off, just leaving the shaft attached to the footboard. I've changed my pegs, but you'll just have a shaft of metal coming out here. This wee rubber bit, I gave it a clean out with some WD-40 and added some chain lube into it just to keep it nice and free moving. Also did the same up at this end where the other rubber sits. I gave that a good clean out and added some chain lube in there just to keep it nice and free. Now, the metal shaft up here, I cleaned it off with some Scotch-Brite. Once I had it all nice and clean, what you've got on this part here, in this tube, I just put some Scotch-Brite down it, cut it into small strips about this wide and forced it in with a screwdriver and just rammed it back and forward to the inside of the tube. Was nice and clean. I then oiled up the metal shaft that runs this way. Obviously this isn't here, you've just got the metal shaft. So I oiled it so it's nice and clean, put it back on, put the gear levers and that back on, washer back on, split pin back in, come back round here, put your gear rod back on, put your grub screw back in, and then it should, as mine does, springs back up and down. It just returns to its normal position. There isn't any return spring that I know of on here. It's just gravity. Gravity just holds it there. So that's basically how I solved that problem with not being able to shift up or down. Hope this wee video helps and is of some use to anybody out there with Keeway Superlight issues like that. Okay, thanks again. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.